Okay, this is the second half of 2.4 on proportions. Again, before we start this part, just a quick recap of what we talked about in the previous video. That proportions is really just two fractions equal each other. Now, what's inside that fraction over here, right? These red dots, they can be a pretty complex function, or they can be just an integer. They could be anything or a variable. So the way to solve it is to make sure that you use either inverse operation, or you do cross multiply. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to do cross multiply. Again, it has to be two big fractions, right? 8 over m minus 9 is a fraction, equals 6 over m minus 8. When you cross multiply, you have to cross away from the equal sign. Otherwise, it's not cross. And then you cross from this side, 8 times m minus 8. Now, once you set this up, the rest of it is easy, right? It's distributive property first. I put that in the back. If you want to move it to forward, it's perfectly fine. So when you distribute, be careful that you have to distribute whatever you're distributing. It has to go to every single term. Very often, the common mistake is right here. People forget to distribute to the second term. They distribute it once, they think that they're done. Not done yet. So now if we keep going, we're going to simplify this. And then we will begin to combine like terms. I'm going to get rid of the numbers on the left-hand side, because on the left-hand side, I want to see hopefully just variables, right? And then I'm going to move the variables to just one side. I will borrow some real estate here. On the left-hand side, I have negative 2m. On the right-hand side, I have negative 10. And now if I divide both sides, if you use your calculator, you all have your phone, use your calculator, you should have m equals 5. If I want to double check, my original equation is here. I want to see if this is correct. So m equals 5. On the left-hand side, it's 5 minus 9, and that's 8 over negative 4. I have negative 2. On the right-hand side, I have 6 over m, which is 5, minus 8. So now my right-hand side and my left-hand side equal each other. This checks out. That's the complete process. So now to speed up the process, I'm going to allow you not to do the check, but you should be aware that after you solve it, you can always bring it back and do a check this way. All right? I'm going to do one more demo of the easier ones. And let's see which one is easier. Maybe I'll do number 10. Again, two fractions. So I cross multiply. When you multiply, it doesn't matter the order. A times B is the same as B times A. Now I begin to distribute. I should have 6k minus 36 on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, I have 8k minus 8. At this point, I want to remind you, in those videos, I speak pretty fast, much faster than I do in the classroom. So remember to pause the videos, rewind. If I go too fast, truly understand from step to step. That will make your learning much faster, make your practices much faster. Otherwise, you will continue to make mistakes. I'm going to have to ask you to do redos. All right? So now I want to do inverse operation just so that all of my variables are on one side and my numbers are on the other side. Do I have, I should have 28, right? And again, so that should be 32. No, I'm sorry, that's 28. Okay. And now I divide 28 on both sides. I have k equals -1. So review the step-by-step instruction I just did. See if it makes sense at all. Do you have any questions? If you have questions, can you send me an email or drop a note on the discussion board, and then we can go from there. Once you complete number 10, I want you to finish 8 and 9 by yourself, and I'll write down the answers here. Press pause now. Okay, once you finish 8 and 9, I wrote the answer there. Make sure that they are correct. You should also do 11 and 12. I'm going to move this up a little bit. And I won't share the answer. You're welcome to click on the key and verify your answer. In the future lessons, I'm going to rely you more so than on me in providing the answers. The keys are all on there, but make sure you do understand it, and your grades will be assigned based on accuracy in many ways. All right. I do want to look at the last 4 questions that are a lot more challenging, but the steps are still exactly the same steps. Cross multiply, distribute, combine like terms, then cancel, cancel, cancel until you have variable on one side, number on the other side. So let's look at it. I'm going to change the color on this. So also, if you don't have a laptop, it is a little bit harder to read on the phone. So you may want to enlarge it. You guys are much better than I am on the phone. Okay, r plus 10. So here we go. I just cross multiplied, right? And now the next thing I need to do is I distribute. 2 times 10 is 20. Now I begin to, here's a common mistake. Let me go back. Well, never mind. I'm going to skip this. A lot of times I see kids only give me -2, but not -2r. That's incorrect. 1 is an apple, 1 is an orange. So now you divide 2 on both sides. R equals 10. Final answer. Want to check your answer? On the left-hand side, 10 divided by 2 is 5. On the right-hand side, 10 plus 10 is 20. 20 divided by 4 is still 5. So that's how I know it's the correct answer. Please do number 14 on your own. The answer for this should be 18. And I will do the last 2. Again, cross multiply. Set it up. The setup is the most important. If you don't set up correctly, the rest of it will be all wrong. So now distribute. I have 8u plus 2 times 9 is 18. 3 times 3u is 9u plus 3 times 7 is 21. So now, for now, I can subtract 9u, but it's probably easier to subtract the smaller one because this is why. Now, on the left-hand side, I have 18 left. On the right-hand side, I have a positive u. So then I don't need to deal with negative number just yet. Last step, to get rid of the 21, subtract 21 on both sides. Here's my final answer. Okay? Not hard at all, but you need to do it and you need to do it right. Number 16, cross multiply again. Distribute. 10 times 2 is 20. 10 times 1 is 10. 5 times 3x is 15. 5 times 1 is 5. Now I can bring the numbers on one side. And now I can subtract 15x so that I only have the variable on one side. Last step, divided by 3. Oh, I'm sorry, divided by 5. So x equals 3. I'm thinking of one thing when I was writing down 5, but I was thinking of dividing by, I was calculating it, so I got confused there. So anyways, again, the processes are exactly the same. Cross multiply, see if you can distribute. Are there like terms to be combined? Then cancellation, cancellation, inverse, 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 inverse operation until you get to the last step. Verify your answers. Okay, so complete this page and then upload it to the homework, the online work submission page. I will look at it and get back to you. Thank you guys. Bye.